Damien might look like a brawler where you just run forward, but if that's how you are playing him, you are wasting the strongest part of his kit. Because Damien isn't about random punches. He's about preparing this attack, controlling where the enemy gets knocked, and trapping entire teams in your own mosh pit. Damien is a mythic brawler who has a variable damage output, high health, a fast movement and reload speed, and a short range. He was the 102nd brawler added to the game. Damien's trait allows him to charge his super from enemies damaging him. He attacks throwing a punch that charges his bar. Once it charges, the next attack knocks enemies back, and after a short delay, they explode. Enemies caught in the radius will explode in a chain reaction. For his super, he jumps over obstacles and enemies will be trapped in a large radius when he lands. Whenever Damien takes damage from enemy brawlers or spawnables, he charges his super. The super charge rate depends on the damage the enemy deals. It takes 2.4 times Damien's max health of damage to charge his super completely, and all damage is calculated after shielding and other effects. Damien initially throws a close range piercing punch that deals low damage. When Damien hits a punch, he will fill a bar by 50%, and if he hits the next punch, the bar will fill, empowering his next attack. This causes the next attack to deal extra damage, knock back enemies 4 tiles and marking them. This mark causes a 2.67 tile radius explosion centered on the enemy after a 1.5 second delay, or instantly if they die from the punch. Any other target that is hit by the explosion but survives will also be marked and explode themselves after the delay. However, if they are defeated from other sources of damage during the delay, or if Damien himself is defeated, the explosion will not trigger. The explosion's supercharge rate scales with power levels and also with any damage buff or debuff. When it's charged up and ready, the bar slowly depletes over a 5-second time span, and once it's empty, he loses the empowered attack and must charge it again. However, the bar doesn't decay while partially charged. Hitting multiple enemies in one attack will instantly charge the bar, though it will not instantly use the empowered attack if 3 or more enemies are hit. Missing an attack will fully deplete the bar regardless of its progress, meaning Damien can waste his empowered attack if he hits no enemies. Despite that, he gains a 30% speed boost for 1.5 seconds when he uses the empowered attack, regardless of whether it lands or not. For both attacks, the projectile increases in width the further it travels. Super Mosh Pit. Damien jumps a long distance, staying airborne for 1 second, regardless of the distance traveled. If required to cross over a large amount of blocks or over lakes, his jumping distance will be increased up to a limit or to the nearest piece of ground. While in the air, Damien is completely immune to all damage besides status effects and damage applied over time. Upon landing, creates a mosh pit in a large circle centered on him, with the boundaries of the circle consisting of 10 sets of speakers. The speakers are similar to walls, except they only last 5 seconds, do not impede the movement of projectiles of Damien and his teammates, and can be destroyed, having 1500 health. Since they are actually spawnables with health, attacks that can break walls will not instantly destroy the speakers, instead both piercing and damaging them. Using another super or being defeated will instantly make the current set of speakers disappear. The speakers have an effect on brawlers that touch them depending on their position. If they are outside the mosh pit, they are knocked away with no damage, but if they are inside it, they take moderate damage and are launched in the air and pushed toward the center by 1.4 tiles. The speakers will also knock back brawlers they spawn on top of towards the center, increasing the super's effective range. While in the air, the enemies can't move or use their attack, super, gadget, or hypercharge, but will be completely immune to all damage besides the status effects and damage applied over time. Enemies can be pulled over walls and other obstacles if required to cross over a large amount of blocks or over lakes, including the speaker themselves. Their traveling distance will be increased up to a limit or to the nearest piece of ground. The speakers will break instantly when knocking back an enemy from the inside, but not when pushing them from the outside. Gadgets. Spiritual healing. When aiming using using the gadget button, Damien lobs a microphone that heals himself and allies when picked up after a short delay. The microphone can be picked up even if the player that picks it up is at full health. The first teammate to pick it up is healed for 3200 health. Cooldown 15 seconds. Wall of sound. When aiming using the gadget button, Damien creates a wall of 3 speakers each covering a tile that lasts for 7 seconds. Despite what the description may imply, this wall acts like any other wall in the game and can be destroyed with wall breaking abilities. The spawn pattern of the wall is always a line roughly perpendicular to direction he throws them. Unlike Sprout's wall, these walls will not be destroyed upon reaching overtime in Brawl Ball. Star powers. Crowdkill. When Damien knocks a target onto a wall with the charge's attack, they will be stunned for 0.5 seconds. The speakers from his super do not count for this effect. Wall guard display of punch. When Damien uses his super, he instantly charges his bar and his next attack is empowered. Hypercharge jump in the fire. When activated, Damien's super leaves a burning area on the ground that lasts for 4 seconds. It deals 1200 damage, but it can only hit 3 times if the enemy remains standing on the area. He also gains a 20% speed boost as well as a 5% damage and shield boost. Mistake number 1. Spamming all 3 attacks. Your third attack is too valuable to throw it away without thinking. Mistake number 2. Bad knockback direction. You are not just trying to hit them, you're choosing where they are going. Mistake number 3. Using super with no plan. Your super can get you into a fight. It doesn't magically get you out. Mistake number 4. Ignoring walls. With Crowdkill EQ, every wall is potentially a stun. Use them. Mistake number 5. Using wall of sound too late. Don't wait until after the enemy leaves to build your wall. Set up the situation before you need the knockback. Damien isn't just a tank who runs at people and punches them. The difference between an average Damien and a really good Damien is what happens before the kick. Prepare your third attack, use the right angle, use the walls, control where your enemy moves, and when everything lines up, start the mosh pit. And that's how you master Damien. If these guides help you, leave a like, subscribe for more Brawl Stars guide, and tell me in the comments which brawler I should cover next.